This week, Canada suspended military export permits to Turkey. That's after allegations that equipment from Canadian companies is being used in an escalating conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan over the disputed territory of Nagorno-Karabakh.
Under the law, I'm allowed to suspend permit pending investigations where we will gather further evidence to make sure that all exports comply with the spirit and the letter of the law. Like I said, we have one of the most robust regime when it comes to export, and that's what Canadians, I think, expect from us.
For more on this now, I'm joined by Karim Uras, Turkey's ambassador to Canada. He's with us from Ottawa. Hi, Ambassador. Good to have you back on the program.
Likewise, thank you.
Your government, sir, has accused the Canadian government of practicing a, quote, double standard in freezing exports of military-grade target acquisition gear to Turkey while continuing to allow shipments of defense equipment to Saudi Arabia. Can you guarantee, though, right now, without a doubt, that no Canadian military technology is being used in the conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan in that disputed region?
Unfortunately, I can't confirm nor can I deny because there are conflicting reports on that. We follow that, of course, we have ongoing cooperation and strong cooperation with Azerbaijan, but specifically, are our drones there, or have they bought drones, or do these drones carry Canadian equipment? I can't say.
Why is that?
Simply because I don't know.
But why don't you know? Why doesn't your government know? If your government, in fact, purchased that, how do you not know whether it's being used?
Well, this developed in a very hasty fashion, as you know, and we think it's surprising, it's unjustified, it's hasty, it's not in line with an allied spirit, and it amounts to rewarding the aggressor. So I was busy on Sunday talking to our people back in Ankara as to what is the extent of our cooperation. And I got conflicting reports, like the Undersecretariat of Defense Equipment said that, yes, they have bought them, but they haven't arrived yet. They're on their way. Others said, well, we don't know. And so there is a bit of controversy there. So I don't want to go into it, not in order to mislead you or your viewers.
So until that information can be confirmed, or until you're able to ascertain what the truth is, do you understand how Canada would want to suspend things just to make sure they can also verify whether or not that's happening? Why are you, accusing the Canadian government of having a double standard when, in fact, you can't tell them for sure that that equipment isn't being used?
Well, because there's nothing to substantiate any negative claim, and I would make the case that actually drones, by pinpoint targeting the aggressor, are actually upholding human rights, not, I would say, eroding them. So actually, it is a support in that sense. But in any case, without a proper report, it's very hasty and it disrupts our own system. And it's rewarding the aggressor because, Azerbaijan is trying to save its own land from Armenian aggression, which has been going on for 30 years. And they have occupied 21% of Azeri territory. The Armenians have led, because of their human rights violations, to the fleeing of 1 million Azeris. They are IDPs in their own land and in very squalid conditions. So disregarding all this and rewarding the aggressor as we see it is not a very appropriate or good policy. It's not in line with NATO allies.
I think with respect, though, sir, and I do say this with a lot of respect, that's the way that you're characterizing it. You just said, as we see it. Certainly, many of your NATO allies at this point don't see it exactly the way you do. They have not labeled, for example, let me finish, sir. They have not labeled Armenia the aggressor.
UN Security Council resolutions 822, 853 of 1993, 874, 884. And there is the UN General Assembly Resolution 62/243, which says, and I'm reading, quoting, immediate, complete, and unconditional withdrawal of all Armenian forces from Azerbaijan. So this is the position of the international system and the UN system.
That's not a fair characterization of the entire system as it stands right now. I understand that you're going over historical interpretations of it. At this point in time,
it's still valid.
At this point in time, that's not what everybody is saying. French President Emmanuel Macron, for example, an ally that you point to, accused your country last Thursday of sending Syrian jihadists to fight in that conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
That is not correct. I can tell that for a fact. And actually, the contrary is true. There are mercenaries there, that's true, but they are Yazidi Kurds, and they are in, the Armenians call them the Sasna Serer unit. There's also something called Voma, which is a mountain artillery battalion, and there are PKK forces there, which are fighting with the Armenians, for the Armenian forces. These are the mercenaries.
And Ambassador, I understand I understand that is what your government, that is what you believe. But you're also trying to say that all your allies stand with you, and that's not the case.
I'm telling you, giving you hard information. If you want, I can share this with you. This is a report on the Armenian mercenaries.
I'm happy to read it, and I understand that. I'm not an expert on the conflict that's happening there, but I have read very carefully. Excuse me?
Yes, I understand.
I have read very carefully the reaction. I don't understand why you need to make that personal. I have read very carefully the reaction from many other of the allies that you claim are aligned with the facts that you choose to present, and that simply isn't the case, as I just pointed out to you from the French president.
Well, the French president, we appreciate his efforts to find a solution within the OSCE group and the Minsk group, one of the three countries, but they've been negotiating for 30 years, and the only service they have delivered has been consolidating the occupation. So we are not in favor of using force to solve issues. Of course not. We are diplomats. We would love a peaceful resolution, but it's not there, and every avenue has been tried, and it's not working.
So as a result, you're not in favor of a ceasefire, right?
The Azeri patience has run out, and it was an Armenian attack the first day, and it backfired terribly for them. So I can understand the Azeris when they say we want to liberate our own territory, which is 21% under occupation, as I said.
But if a peaceful solution is possible, why not be supportive of that? And if you can't be supportive of that, why can't you understand that Canada would be hesitant to export military weapons to your country?
Because we're not even sure that they're there. Secondly, we are in support of peace, and our minister was there yesterday trying to resolve the issue and talk to the Azeris, but there is the national sentiment there. We are supportive of them, but we are not a party, of course. Turkey is not a party. We are a NATO member.
Yeah, the president, though, has said, condemned calls for a ceasefire, arguing that until Armenia ends its occupation, a ceasefire will just lead to future conflict. So what kind of peace are you supportive of?
Well, something the two sides can agree upon, and but as long as the occupation is ongoing, it's not very promising, is it? I mean, you can't go in and occupy a country or a country's 21% and then continue negotiating for 30 years and then say, we are for peace. It doesn't work like that. And there are 1 million IDPs in Azerbaijan, which, as I say, live in squalid conditions. By the way, we, Turkey, suffer a lot. We have 4 million, your viewers might not know, but Turkey has 4 million Syrian refugees for 10 years. That's like the whole number of all GTA or all Montreal, to put this in perspective, in a Canadian perspective. So we find it offensive when we are accused of violating human rights. If anything, we are upholding human rights in the region, and we are taking care of all these refugees. We've spent $50 billion on them.
Yeah, that's clearly your view, and as you tried to claim, that's not your. You tried to say that your allies that they share that view. They clearly don't at this time. But thank you very much for your time, Ambassador.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.